We have prepared a press release, which we are going to give to the press, but just permit me to read it so that the world will know what is actually happening. Gentlemen of the press, we at Babaleya & Co., the firm of solicitors to Comrade Tajuddin Bikunle Barua, who is the president of National Union of Road Transport Workers, have called this press conference as a last resort to let the world know about how some elements suspected to be backed by some high-ranking government officials from the presidential villa have been claiming to be above the law of Nigeria by refusing to vacate the national office of National Union of Road Transport Workers at Sapele Street, plot 1236, Gariki to Abuja, even after losing the presidency of the union to Comrade Tajuddin Barua in an election and in all the stages of court up to the Court of Appeal, which is the last court in industrial matters by virtue of Section 243, sub 4 of 1999 Constitution as amended. The announcement of the inauguration of Musliu Anyide Akinsanya, also known as Oluomo, as the president of the National Union, came as a rude and gruesome shock to the national executives of National Union of Road Transport Workers and all members of the union in Nigeria. From all indications, it appears that a faction sat and decided on its own, having no recourse to the constitution of the union or to the decision of judgment of court, and decided to select a random individual known as MC Oluomo as the president of the union. The entire brouhaha began when Comrade Tajuddin Bikunle Barua was sworn in as the president of National Union of Road Transport Workers in accordance with the Constitution of the Union in 2023. And an errant faction of the Union, led by one Alhaji Najim Usman Yassin, a former president of the Union who spent 9 years being unsatisfied with the result of the election of the Union, decided to take matters into their hands by formulating a caretaker committee, utilizing some members of the Nigerian police force. Yes, we may both to say this, along some touts, shade the legally elected officials from their office rather than take the grievances to court, if any, for this to be resolved in a civilized manner. However, Comrade Tajuddin Bikunle Barua, being a law-abiding citizen, rather than resort to violence, choose to go to court to reaffirm the validity and legality of his presidency and condemn the illegal committee formed by the Pain faction that lost the election. Thus, a suit was instituted at the National Industrial Court of Nigeria, and judgment was delivered in his favor on the 11th of March 2024 by Honorable Justice O.O. Oyewumi, now a judge of the Court of Appeal, dissolving the illegal caretaker committee. Being dissatisfied with the judgment of the court, an appeal was filed at the Court of Appeal by the faction led by Alhaji Najim Usman Yassin, wherein he sought to overturn the judgment and decision of the trial court. In a turn of events, however, the Court of Appeal on the 8th of November 2024 dismissed the appeal of Alhaji Najim Usman Yassin and affirmed the judgment of the National Industrial Court, barring Alhaji Usman Yassin and his cohorts from interfering in the day-to-day running of the union, led by Comrade Tajuddin Bikunle Barua. To our utmost surprise, as the legal practitioners that held a brief for Alhaji Barua, even before the decision of the Honorable Court could be celebrated by the victorious party, the news of the inauguration of Mr. Musliu Akinsanya, MC Oluomo, as the national president of the union was announced in flagrant disobedience and disregard of the decision of the court, despite being aware that the tenure of Comrade Tajuddin Bikunle Barua ought to run until 2027 as confirmed by the court. We have since then made several attempts to get the government of Federal Republic of Nigeria, who is in charge of executing court orders to disregard the aggravating development, including addressing several letters to relevant bodies of government, such as Inspector General of Police, National Security Advisor, Director General of State Security Service, Attorney General of the Federation, and the Minister of Labor and Employment. However, up till now, there has been no significant effort on the part of government to call these erring parties to order. These lawbreakers, with all due respect, led by MC Oluomo, have been parading themselves as the national president and officers of the union, respectively, and have been dropping the names of one of the prominent aides of the president in the presidential villa as the one behind their flagrant breach of judgments, and others of the Court of Appeal, which is the highest court in the land, on resolution of industrial-related matters. Even this matter we have reported to NBA, but they all appear to be helpless because they are dropping names of some people in the villa. It is almost disheartening that the order of the court is being disregarded by these persons simply because they are confident that they have the backing of certain entities in power and can so act above the law. We must be reminded that power is transient, and by the cardinal rule of law, no one is above the law. We wish to use this opportunity to call on the President and Commander-in-Chief of Armed Forces of Federal Republic of Nigeria, President Bola Tinubu. We believe he's not aware of this thing, but we are using this medium to call on the President of Nigeria, who believes in the rule of law, to please remove all this kind of thing from the psyche of Nigeria, to the extent that when we have a judgment and we will not be able to execute it, it is very wrong. Our president went to court when he was elected. They sued him at the various levels of court. The Supreme Court declared him as the elected president. Obi and Atiku did not go and seize Aso Rock and chase him away. Today, he is the president based on the judgment of court. Just like Barua won his election and won his judgment at the highest level of court. The president must ensure that Barua is returned as the president of National Union of Road Transport Workers. As anything short of that will not augur well for our legal system. And it will just be paying a lip service to the one of the mantra of the presidency of President Tinubu, who says he believes in a rule of law. We also call on the Inspector General of Police, National Security Advisor, Director General of Security Service, Attorney General and Minister of Justice of the Federation, and other authorities that has to do with ensuring rule of law prevails in the country to rise up to correct this dent on the image of the President and Commander-in-Chief. MC Oluomo is not the President of National Union of Road Transport Workers, as there is no vacancy between now and 2027. After 2027, he can come back to contest if the zoning arrangement of the union will permit him. Our demand, we therefore use this medium to call on the entire government of the Federal Republic of Nigeria to call Alhaji Nagim Usman Yasin, MC Oluomo, and all their cohorts to order and prevent them from further maligning Comrade Tajudeen Bikunle Bariwa, as he is the only legally recognized national president of the union. He has won at all the stages of the court, and they should give peace a chance. Thank you so much. This is the judgment of the Court of Appeal that we talk about. This is the that we talk about. And we also have all the enrollment of orders to the various authorities. All the various authorities issues that we are talking about. So that we are resorting to this is just our last resort. Because with clarity judgment that nobody can wish away. So we don't even need any order of court to execute it, because the court declared that they must vacate that office forthwith. Forthwith in law means immediately. So we are calling on the president. We are calling on the Inspector General of Police. We are calling on the Director General of SSS to, as a matter of urgency, redress this issue. Because National Union of Road Transport Workers is not a political party. They are not opposition members. They are not PDP, they are not APC, they are not Labour Party, they are not NNPP. They are just industrial union fighting for the interests of their members. And we do not know the interests of anybody about this. They should allow due process to play out the way it is. Barua is the president-elect of National Union of Road Transport Workers. He has also been sanctioned by all the judgments. In fact, we have about 3 other judgments that are related to this matter, but are not the actual issues. He won in all the stages, including the one that was, initiated in Abuja against him. He won all the cases, as far as we are concerned in this matter. And all the lawyers of MC Oluomo and Alhaji Yansi, they are aware of this. So, gentlemen of the press, this is our dilemma, and that is why we say we have to call on the press to come to our aid, to let the world know, because we have been reading a lot of things. We have been seeing so many things on the social media, claiming that MC Oluomo is the president of the union. He was never elected, because MC Oluomo, from the facts of this case, is not even a member of National Union of Road Transport Workers. He's a member of park management in Lagos. And he has not, anyway, he has said he has joined the union. But if you look at the constitution of the union, you have to spend at least 2 years, unbroken 2 years, before you can be qualified to run in an election, to contest, to vote, and to be voted for. Which today he is not even qualified to be voted for as even at the branch level, not to talk of the national level. So we should not be, because he is claiming to have a father in Israel, and be stopping people who are supposed to take their office. That is why we have called this press conference. Thank you.
Because I want you to take us through the hierarchy for the resolution of this last courts for this kind of dispute. And what do you think the Inspector General
Police and for the General of this court, I've written about 3 letters. They are dilly-dallying. They don't want to implement it. Maybe somebody, according to them, they said somebody in the villa, I don't want to mention the name. Somebody in the villa is behind them. And they said that they can never execute that judgment. And it will be sad. It will be very, very sad if a judgment of Court of Appeal, which is the last court in industrial matter, under Section 243 subsection 4 of the 1999 Constitution, cannot. We are in a jungle. That is just the meaning. So the Inspector General of Police, there's a duty on him to ensure that judgment of courts are executed in accordance with law. It is his duty, and we have submitted everything before him. Even my client has gone there to make statements several times on this matter. He has written statements several times, but they kept on saying, well, there is order from above. We don't know where the above is. But I believe that the president is not aware of this. And this is the last resort. And we believe that the president will be aware of it by the time the press bring this thing to the open. You see, we are a firm of solicitors to ensure that the judgment that we obtain through our sweat from the sages of court is executed. Barua has capacity. Even at the initial stage, when they came in with talks led by some police officers, I was the one that told him that do not take law into your hands. Let us go to court. Even though he was skeptical, I said no. Court is the last hope of the common man. We went to court, and that the court should declare the action illegal and nullify everything they have done. They filed papers. In fact, they have the best of lawyers senior advocates, I won't mention the names, the best of lawyers who did the matter for them, they lost. We won at the initial stage because we are the people that went to court on behalf of Barua. So when we now won at the industrial court, they now brought another senior advocate to take over the Court of Appeal. We slugged it out at the Court of Appeal. We submitted our papers, we filed our processes. We did get out. And at the end of the day, on 8th of November 2024, the Court of Appeal, on a panel of 3 justices, all of them agreed. There's no dissenting opinion, no dissenting judgment. They affirmed the judgment of the lower court. What else do they want us to do? And unfortunately, when they discovered that the judgment has been affirmed, on 8, on 9, they went to Oshogbo and they claimed that they have elected MC Oluomo, who is a privy to the judgment that we are talking about. Because he was one of them. He's a privy to the judgment. He's aware of the processes. So when we had the judgment on 8, on 9, they went to Oshogbo and they claimed that they have elected MC Oluomo. And when you look at the Constitution of the Union, as at that time they claimed to have elected MC, it's not possible. Because the election is in every 4 years. The next election of National Union will be on 27th. In 2027. May 2027 will be the next time where election will be conducted. Because as I talk to you today, there's no vacancy in that office. The people there now are just mere usurpers. If we have law in this country now, they are supposed to be behind bars.